The Great Bath is another important structure which belongs to the Indus Valley civilization. It is found in Mohenjo-daro. It is an open quadrangle measuring 180 feet into 108 feet. And the purpose of the Great Bath is still remaining as a question of debate. Historians do not have any clear idea what was the real purpose of the Great Bath. Some historians say that it was a storage of water, whereas some historians say that it was used for recreational purposes. Yet another historians say that it was used for some religious purposes. Each group of historians have their own points to support their arguments. This large pond had stairs to access the water. It shows that it was regularly used by the people. And all along the Great Bath, there are some small rooms. These small rooms might be used for changing dress. So, they said that people might have used it for recreational purposes. Yet some other historians do not agree with that. There was a fire altar very close to the pond. The presence of the altar suggests that it must have used for some religious purposes. So, different historians have different opinions about the use of this Great Bath. It was made up of bricks, and these bricks were made watertight by using gypsum and bitumen, so that water would not be seeped and lost. A well made close to the pond, Great Bath, provided the sufficient supply of water to the Great Bath. Already we have seen that the Great Bath was a quadrangle and it has 6 entrances. And the water from the Great Bath was periodically cleaned. There were facilities for the cleaning of the water. The wastewater from the pond was allowed to drain towards the main drain, which was constructed close to the Great Bath. Now, let us discuss about the Great Granary. Granaries have been discovered at Mohenjo-daro, Kalibangan, Lothal, and Harapan. Of these different granaries, the most prominent one was the Great Granary. It was situated in Mohenjo-daro, having a size of 45 feet into 15 feet. In Harapan, we can find a row of 6 granaries. Granary is a place where grains are stored. There was no board that indicates that this big building is used for storing grains. But the historian assumed that this particular building might be a granary from certain other evidences. Very close to this great granaries, there was a raised platform. This raised platform might be used for thrashing of grains. And from the presence of this raised platform which the people used to thrash grains, historians assume that this particular building might be used as a granary. Near the granary, two small rooms can be found, and these small rooms might be the offices of the in charges. The granary also was made or built on a raised platform. Already we are seeing that all the important buildings of Indus Valley civilization are made on raised platform. The reason is that frequent floods were a common phenomenon of the region, and in order to protect the grains from the flood, they were made at a raised platform. These granaries were provided ventilators, and the proper passage of air through the ventilators, it enabled the grains to keep air fresh. So these all are the features of the great granaries. The next one is the assembly hall. The assembly hall at Mohenjo-daro was a remarkably big construction. It has an area of 24 square meter. Like the other buildings of the Indus cities, this assembly hall too was made big bricks. Historians call this particular building as assembly hall because there were rows of benches constructed on both sides. From the presence of the rows of benches on both sides of the building, historians believe that this very particular building might be used for meetings, because people used to sit on those benches. So they call this very particular building as the assembly hall. See, already we have seen that there are many structures which were found there in the Indus Valley cities, and these names are not given by the Indus Valley people. These names are given by the modern historians who unearthed these structures. From the usage that they assumed that these buildings were used for, they have named them as the Great Bath or the Great Granaries and the Assembly Hall. In reality, these buildings might be used for some other purpose. We do not know. But now, by seeing the evidences, we conclude that these buildings were used for this very particular purpose, and so they are named as the Great Granary and the Assembly Hall.